Thank you very much. Very excited to be here today with you to speak about that works, right? You hear me well. Very good. So I'm Michi, or Michael Wegmüller. I've been founding Artifact, as kindly introduced before, back in 2020 during the second COVID wave. We were sure that there is a lot of uncertainty in the businesses, and we were sure that there is more need for good data, and then as well more need for data scientists that can create new insights out of the data. And that's why we have decided as an EPFL and EPFL startup to found Artifact back in 2020. So if we look a little bit what Artifact is today, is we are a professional services provider, so we don't have products, but we do services for our customers. And as services, we do foundation services, which is more strategy to our customers, has been very, very important over the last year. Now with generative AI, all of our customers were not too sure whether or not they should invest in generative AI and LLMs. So that's where we can help on the roadmap and assess whether that investment is fruitful and good for them. Secondly, is we help our customers to discover the right use cases. So as well, thanks to our industry background and our experience in that, I'm coming to that in a second, we can actually help our customers to select the right cases. But at the core, this is where our heart is and our heart beats, is implementation services. So we have the fabulous team. Now we are 10 people here in Switzerland that are implementing AI services and data science projects on behalf of our customers. So at that sense, we really do data science in that matter. And last but not least, this is where I'm coming a little bit from. I'm very intrigued by how can organizations set up for scale. So what do larger organizations and also nowadays smaller organizations need to do to be able to tackle that opportunity of data science and AI? So here we're looking in organization, in governance, in processes, and so on and so forth. Okay, so as said, I'm the only one who has not done ETH or EPFL, but my two fellow co-founders, Montasar and Stefan, both have done a PhD. We have a little bit of an IBM background. So me personally, I have been 15 years in IBM. Montasar has done 25 and Stefan about 9 years in IBM. And you can see, as I said, we are now 10 people, mainly sourced from ETH and EPFL, mainly PhD with a data science, computer science background that are helping us to deliver our projects. But we have jointly now about 80 years of experience, and we have almost literally done work in every single industry. So we are kind of industry agnostic in that sense. And last but not least, on the bottom left or right-hand side from your point of view is we have a couple of patents. This is especially thanks to the fact that Stefan has been very, very inventive when he has been working at IBM. So to give you an example, about 7 years ago, we have built an asset or a patent that is called cognitive meeting minutes. And you might think about what is in the back there is an NLP process that can actually transcribe a conference call and then get the key messages, gets the key decisions and the key action points out of it. And look where we are today. So we have been a little bit lucky being about, before the curve nowadays, and obviously that helps us. Now, that has been a bit traditional, blah, blah, yeah, I know. And I thought I want to bring something new. So we are kind of a crazy service provider in the field of data science and AI, yeah? And as such, if you look at our vision, we would like to empower people with AI for the better. And I feel now that we are here, this is a very important topic, that we keep this ethical and responsible dimension of the work that we are doing at the heart of what we are doing. I've just coming from a University of St. Gallen symposium last week where they talked about regulation in AI, and I feel we are really at the tipping point right now where things will go and how this whole, artificial intelligence will also be regulated here in Switzerland. And we all have kind of an important role and task to do in this field. Now, if we move on, we are completely technology agnostic. So don't be mistaken by the fact that they are llamas, and this might be just a little coincidence that we like llamas and we like also Meta, but we are technology agnostic. We are actually working on all sorts of cloud and AI services and also large language models, obviously. We look what are the best ones for the job to be done. Secondly, we are completely Swiss-based. Yeah? So we try to do services from within Switzerland for our Swiss customers. We have a couple of international customers already that we are allowed to serve. What's next to say? Now coming more to our core values. We love agility, and we try to make that very pragmatic. So you have to think about, we are coming from IBM, and IBM is not known to be a very small company and not known to be very simple. Let's put it this way. It is great in terms of the capacity and the knowledge in there, but what we missed at the time that we worked there is this pragmatic agility, and that's what we like to embody in everything we do, quick results on the data, and no bullshit talk, to be frank. Yeah. A second value is the tailored expertise that comes down to our teams, obviously. With the expertise in ML, but also to the expertise that the three co-founders can bring, and then the intersection between technology, between data, between machine learning and AI and statistics, and last but not least, and business, that is the golden spot to go for. And last but not least, we love stimulated partnerships. And what would be better to say than this is just a selection of our customers that we are happily working with. And as you can see with the Net Promoter Score, they are also happy with us. And usually, as this is in agile partnerships, is we both try to stimulate and impress and bring ourselves to the next level in a joint fashion. To give you a little bit of a glimpse on projects, obviously we still do, and who would believe it, the traditional machine learning work, yeah? So we still go out there and, like here for an example in a retailer, analyze and predict what might be the future upcoming sales. We try to optimize when new ordering should be placed and stuff like that. So this is the traditional time series work that you might know. But we are also doing work in the prediction of failures for machines, so anomaly detection and stuff like that. So that is still pretty cool. And last but not least, not to forget to mention, obviously, clustering and understanding customers better and doing feature extraction from public available data and also from internal data, that's part of the work. But now since a year, we're also starting to dance with LLMs, and we like to make them actually dance. While we don't like too much the way how they hallucinate, and our customers don't like them either, we are starting to think about creative ways. How can we use LLMs with their text capabilities to help us on our project? And at the very end, we have now started to work using LLMs in a slightly different way to actually work with structured data. And here we are, to give you a hint already, we are starting to look to use LLMs to obviously create code, which is then extracting data from databases, and from there on we do automatic analysis, and there is going to be a couple of announcements coming on soon, if you're just following us then on LinkedIn. And second, what we are also like to do is we like to make LLMs start to think critically. We have a little bit of a fear that maybe there is too much standardization, too much averaging out. And now, in terms of heavy guardrailing that we put in the back, we try to make LLMs starting to understand different positions that might be out there and provide not only one answer, but then different answers back to the customer. So guardrailing is something that we are looking right now quite heavily into making these solutions work for our customers. And last but not least, and this is based, as I said, we are a services company and not a products company, but nevertheless we build assets. And we try to bring these assets as IP to our customers as a simple starting point to accelerate the work we do. And what you see here, this is our company GPT. At the very end, it's nothing else than an Azure-based platform where we have put a lot of orchestration work in order to guardrail and to steer what it should be doing. And that's here the example is now, should you put pineapple on a pizza, yes or no? And you can see how that looks like in starting to do critical thinking. Maybe not the very best example, but that illustrates quite well what we can try to make the LLM dancing with. So last but not least is obviously we are always looking for the greatest talent, and that's on one hand side why we are here. So we have a couple of open positions as you can see on the list. Also visit jobs.artifact.swiss if you're interested, or we are at the booth over there. But even more than that, we are also going to host a track. So if you are interested to learn a little bit more from our colleagues and dear customers on the stage on how the boardrooms are actually using AI these days and how they might be impacted in making as well good decisions for the organization on behalf, then join us tomorrow, Tuesday, in 4C, where we have the track at 2 p.m. In the afternoon, where colleagues from Guillaume, Lisa, and Jerome are going to join us to talk. So in that sense, thank you very much. Let's jointly empower people with AI for the better, and I'm happy for questions.
Thank you, Michael.
If there are any.
If you could make a wish for a Swiss foundation model, what would it be? What is currently missing?
Well, I think Alpine AI does well right now with having more transparency on what's the input, but I like transparency a lot in the moment. So we have lots of customers who are asking how is it being trained, you know, they would like to understand what goes in. So the whole transparency bit is going to be quite important. I feel in terms of language capabilities with Swiss German and all these things, the systems will go and get it. So I think that's it, getting something which is completely transparent.
So you mentioned, is it work?
Yes.
Okay. So you mentioned that you've been in St. Gallen discussing for
Yes.
AI regulation. So I would like to know what is the take of Artifact with respect to the UI Act, what you are doing to actually implement it.
Well, from a consulting point of view, very, very, very happy about that. Because our customers, one thing that they have with all this situation right now is uncertainty. So they don't know where the technology goes. And we all know, we are all overwhelmed by the fact that every day new models are being released, new stuff comes out, and it's even hard for us who are in the bubble to stay up to speed. But on top of that, there is also the regulatory on security and on safety, where things will go. There's also the societal aspect to that. And I think that's at the core. So we need to somehow get something where companies can start to hold on, to grab on, that gives them more certainty to make as well investments in larger and bigger projects. And with that, we are very, very happy about this regulation as it comes out. And frankly, to the EU AI Act, the risk-based model, I guess you are familiar with that. We like it. However, obviously, as usual, we ask then on the details. You know, I have now a particular project. Let's take a customer segmentation project to make target audiences, right? To select target audience. How should that now be regulated? Is it now a low risk? Is it a high risk? And what are the right governances in the back that are coming there? So I think there is more and more to come, but we need to have that dialogue, right? And now in Switzerland in particular, I think the approach that has been selected is quite good. So maybe we're going to have a couple of principles like no discrimination, the transparency part, the human in the center, and stuff like that. So that's where we should aim for. But then we have very specific regulations for each of the industry domains, as there are specific laws already. So we don't need to overboil the whole thing, right? The EU now with the whole horizontal law maybe has now some stuff to manage also with the vertical laws that are out there. Yeah, but in general, very good. We are very happy about that. Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Michael.
Let's connect and see you soon.